Hi, good morning to all of you. Vaibhav, Shuresi, Pradyumna,
Good morning, sir.
Sean,
Morning, sir.
Sean, Dhanush. Yeah. So, how was your weekend?
Good.
Good, right? So, you have celebrated the Christmas. Good. Yeah. So, yeah, let me show my screen. Let me share my screen, and then we'll discuss more. Okay. Yeah. So, I wanted to explain some of the important things, like what, let me make it a slideshow. Yeah, we almost reached to the end of the course, so we are in the class 19 now. So, and you see here, so this would be our agenda for today. Okay, Advai is also joining. Once again, fine. So, events. Yeah, first part that I'm going to cover is like summary, like what we learned so far. And then the sheets, the 4 slides will give you the 1-point reference for all your learnings in the past 19 sessions. Okay, so hi Advai, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, and yeah, after the reference slides, so we'll get into the events part. Events is like we learned about some form events already, so I'm going to explain a few in mouse and keyboard, so that all the events look similar, so you just have to use according to your needs. Okay, I'll just explain few, so rest you can continue, and then yeah, after that let's see any practice work. So I'm going to share it to you. Fine. Yeah, first week, you see the first week, so we learned about the code editors, so you're all pretty comfortable in the code editors now, right? So Visual Studio Code, you are all become the experts now. Yeah, very, you can start building the code, any kind of code you can start, as you are already familiar with the code editors, right? You can start building the code. And in the last week I was asking, like what kind of website you want to build, so keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind, and based on that you have to have a design ready. So once you have a design, then you can start building the code for yourself. Okay, and next comes the browser. We learned, like the browser also, like if you want to access a web page over an internet, right? So you can use browser. And then these are all we already learned. I don't want to get into deeper now. I'll just go on higher level. So we learned about HTML elements, we learned about attributes. So HTML elements are like all the markup tags, and attributes is like if you want to change the characteristics of element or markup tag, you will use HTML attributes. And then we did 4 assignments in the first week, and first one test, we have completed one test. And then we learned these markup tags. So doc type, HTML head, title, body, h1, headings from 1 to 6, and comment tag, and paragraph, bold, line break, and then horizontal rule for separating the sections, image for displaying the image, and marquee for some text animations. And attributes, we learned attributes, so to change the characteristics of some of the elements, right? We used source to display the image path, width and height to change the height of the image, width of the image, and alt is for giving some highlighted text. So when the image is not found, then you can show this message. And title is like when you mouse over on the element, it will give you a small pop-up with the text. Okay, have you all tried this title anytime before?
Yes.
Okay,
I
good,
have.
good, very good. And direction is for marquee, so to display, in which direction you want to scroll the text. And style, yeah, you all know style, right? So to apply a different style to an element, you can use style attribute. Yeah, that was what we did in the first week. And second week we started with learning about the relative paths and absolute paths. So basically, specify the path in the src attribute or href attribute, right? So the relative path can be the reference from the current directory. Okay, absolute path is from the root directory. So the reference from the root directory is called absolute path. And we started configuring nginx server for all of you. So started in second week. So we continued this nginx server setup from second week to third week also. So 2 weeks I took some time to configure everybody's nginx server. So that you can have a feel of how your local website looks like. Okay, and 5 assignments we did in the second week and 1 test. And these are the tags we learned. So strong, anchor, italic, and emphasize, and underline, strike through, audio and video tags, superscript and subscript, and preserving the format of the text that you have added in your code. And mark is for highlighting the text. And we learned about the table tags. So table tags goes with rows and columns. So tr is for row, th and td are for columns. Okay. And third week, so we did third week with a layout. So layout with the table tag. So if you are having a form to be designed to display properly, so you can make use of the table tags. And then we did 5 assignments in the third week also, and we started introducing JavaScript also, like on click event. So slightly displaying the alert box. So we started introducing in third week. And slowly the styles of adding the background image to the body and all we introduced in third week. And here comes the important, all the registration forms in the websites, right? Any kind of website if you take, so all those input forms, the registration forms, the user input capturing details, you can call anything. So communication point, so everything happens through the forms, HTML forms. And these are all the input fields, label, input tags with text, password, color, checkbox, radio, date, time, month, week, number, file, button, reset, and submit. So all this comes under the input fields. And we have certain attributes to make these input fields look better. So
What is enc type?
what is that? Oh yeah, enc type. So encoding type, it is like encoding type is for the okay, let me show you. Yeah, if you see your form, right? So if you see your class 18, let's go back and see. You see here form tag, right? We use the form tag. So the form tag
Because
will
we use file tag.
exactly,
File.
exactly. Advay is right. So the encoding type is like you need this encoding part for your HTML file. Where is your file? Yeah, here we don't have it actually. So I think this page we don't need it because we don't have HTML file in this. Yeah, in this, so we don't have here. Let's go back and check 17. Okay, 17. Let me search. Yeah, see. So we have input type is equal to file, right? So you are trying to upload. So let's see what is this class 17, right? So let me show you on the screen also. Good question, Shuresi. So that helps you understand what is that. So 1000 and then index.html. Okay, class 17, right? Let's go to class 17. Go down. Yeah, where is the file? Where is the file? Ah, yeah, here. You see, upload your resume. So here you can upload the document from your computer. So you can choose any of the documents here. Okay, you can choose any of the documents here to upload. So when you upload a document, what will happen is that document will be, transferred to the server in this form, encoding form. So like it will give.
So it can also make the computer at risk.
No, you are trying to upload, right? So uploading will not, do anything. So when you try to download, you should be very careful. Okay. So when
Can
you
you
upload,
explain the encoding type part again? My Wi-Fi actually broke down.
okay. Okay. So basically, right, the encoding type comes when you have a input field of file. So you see here we have an input field called as file. So you see here the type of the input is a file here. So if you want to upload any document from your computer to the server, so it will encode. The form will have the encoding type. So the file will be encoded to send it to the server. Okay, it will use this technique to send to the server. Okay, like multi-part or form data. You can have other form like application or
You were going
XWW.
to tell us that in the access keys how to use control and shift.
What is that? Oh, okay,
You
together,
took,
right?
yeah.
Together, right? Together I still haven't investigated that. So I will help you. Okay. So that's actually, we have a shortcut key for using small case, but we will jump into that, once we find some time. Okay. So that's a research part. So I just have to find some way to do that. I'll find and let you know. Okay. Fine. Coming back to this, like you are uploading a file, right? So the file can be 10 MB, 20 MB, 30 MB, right? Depending on the size of the file, it will actually translate or send from your computer to the server in parts. So that's what called as encoding type. So it sends the content to the server. Okay. So only in that scenarios we will use this one. Otherwise, we don't use this encoding type at all. Okay, for the normal form
Can
fields.
we learn like can we learn how to send data to the server or like the backend?
Okay, yeah, that no, actually, even here you just have to have a proper file to capture the capture the request and display the response. So yeah, I'll keep a note of it. Yeah, I'll keep a note of it, and then I'll give you the reference links. Okay. And if I have a
Okay.
small program, I'll just share you that knowledge also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, yeah. So coming back here, so we use encoding type for sending the files from your computer to the server, and we learned about some styles like font family, changing the font families, and then background image using the body or any div tags, and width and height also you can specify it in the style attribute. Okay, so you don't need to specify the attributes. You can specify width and height style properties, and you have seen some placeholders also for input fields to display the default text. Okay, yes. Coming back to fourth week, we have 5 assignments done for the fourth week also. So I have uploaded some practice work. So I suggest you all submit your practice work there. So I see here, you see some of them. Okay, let me show you that.
The canvas is still not working for me.
For me also.
Yeah, because you may need to see like what exactly has happened. So that part I will it's like slightly tricky, but you need to troubleshoot in a different way. Okay, I'll tell you what I was showing. I was trying to show you the course details. What was that? Assignments. Okay, so here you see, I see very few of you are submitting the assignments. So some of you are sending by screenshots, right? So I suggest you try to upload it here so that you will have work saved here. All your work will be saved in this practice work.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
the test area is gone in the my courses.
Means?
Like before, there used to be like a different section for tests, right? Like
Right. I have taken it out actually. I have taken it out because I have added questions, right? So I'm going to enable it, I'm going to enable it now. Okay, 1 second, so that you can take up the test after this class. Okay,
And
not now.
also, sir, after the class ends,
Mhm.
like, will we still have this website?
Yeah. See, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we still have classes, right? I'm not going to end it now. See?
No, after the class also,
Mhm.
like after we finish the online class, like, do we still have the website, or is it like you will take it away?
No. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. This one I'll keep. Okay, you mean to say the e-platform, right? Or e-platform?
Yeah, like because after
Yeah.
holidays, if we want to just check
No.
back on
I'll keep it.
works.
No, I'll keep it. I'll keep it for all of you. Okay. So you can still access all the resources here. Okay. Because the knowledge is one that you should you should refer it. So I'll keep everything whatever is there now like this, right? So you can still access it. Okay, don't use for other purpose, just make use of this site only for your learning purpose only. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll just keep it like this only, and you'll have access to it. Okay, and let me, yeah, what I was telling, I want to enable the test, right? So after this class, I suggest you all take up the test. Okay, so this test will take little bit, little bit more time. So I have just enabled it now, so you all can see the test now. But don't check the questions now. Okay, start it when after the class. Okay, after today's class, you can start, and then you can complete the questions. Okay, fine.
Uh, is
Yes.
it possible to have all the slides? Like you already have kept
Okay,
some,
yeah.
right?
1
Just
second.
like the slides, can you also have the recorded lessons?
Yeah, in the
Ah,
presentations. I
okay,
see it. I see
okay.
in the
1 second.
presentations.
So that it would be easier
Yeah.
for us to
I have added it. See, I
visualize
have
it.
added most of the files here. We have 13 here. So I'm going to upload it later. Okay. So we have
As in
13
like
only here.
the recorded lessons also.
Recorded lessons, I have to see, like, whether we can allow it or not. Okay, because most of you are in the I'll talk to you about that. Okay, I'll give access to only those who need the access. Okay, I'll explain it maybe after getting confirmation from all of you. Okay, so it's like putting the videos on the public site, right? Need some restrictions. So I need confirmation from all of you, and then I'll give access to that. Okay, based on the emails, private access to only those who requested. Okay,
Okay.
so fine. So yeah, this is where, like, I was asking you all to submit your assignments here. So please upload it here. Okay, I from the beginning of the sessions I'm seeing only 6, 4, 8. So but actually you see, if you see here, there are 11 members attempted this, right? If you see inside, okay, I see very few of you have you see only Hasini has uploaded so many. So when you go here, she has uploaded screen by screen here. Okay, no, there are 11 members submitted. It means, like, she is also counted 11 times. It's like that. So some of you, right? They like, yeah. Oh yeah. So Ilibert, are you there? I think Ila Bharati is not here, right? Yeah. So I want to explain it to her, like, she submitted, but, I don't see any file or anything. So it's just plain empty. So just assignment name is there, and then I don't see her work actually. So I wanted to tell her. Maybe I'll talk to her later. Fine. I think we are getting
I
into.
have too many pictures in my folder in the Visual Studio Code, so I don't know how to put all the pictures in one images file.
No, what you do is you just take a screenshot of your code, okay? Screenshot of your code and upload it. So that's enough actually, no? I can easily refer.
No,
Okay.
I mean to say, we need to put all the things in folders, right? So I have a lot of pictures in my Visual Studio Code. So
Okay.
I don't know how to shift everything in one file because I don't know how to select multiple.
No, you can just, select like this. Okay, I'll show you. Where is our, yeah, our code. Suppose if you want to select all these screenshots, right? So these are all PNG format. Just, mouse click on any white space and then select all like this. Or click one by one using control. Press control and then click on each file. Press control and then click on each file which you want to select like this. And then drag and drop onto the folder. That's it. You got
If
to,
or you can just use Control A.
yeah, control A is for selecting all. And then, you have to deselect the folder name and then you can just move it all to the folder. Okay, Dre?
Okay.
Fine. Now let's get into the topic. Yeah, fourth week. So we started learning the HTML events, and we saw like, the drop down, data list, option group, text area, and then field set and listen. So field set is like, grouping the related elements. So we learned about all these things, and then, some attributes like, label list. List is for, where is that? Data list. Yeah, data list and list, and the value attribute to display the value. This rows and calls are for text area, and size applies to select and text area. And we learned about on blur, on click, on input, and on change. Okay, these
I
are all the
forgot. I
events.
I don't remember of learning list and
Okay,
select.
okay, fine. I'll just give a reference, high level reference here. You see here. So we have drop down list here, right? So this is like, we added a drop down list here. So with some default values here. Okay. Now let me show you the screen. Okay, class 17, you go and have a look at. I'm going to minimize this part. Okay. Yeah, where is the drop down section? Calendar, HTML drop down list. Yeah, here you see this is the select box. So the drop down list. So what we say is like, it starts with select and you give options inside, option and value attribute, and then the display name here. This is the display name and this is the value that will be submitted to the server. So if you add a code like this, the markup tag, so it is going to display like this, single selection. Okay, it's like single selection. Now, okay, I moved it here, that's why it came. So I'm going to move it back here, save it, refresh it. So then default value would be empty here. Okay, you can select the countries here. This is drop down. And if you see, yeah, option group. So you can group certain options according to their own category. So if you add option group to certain options, then all these options will be coming under the Singapore category. So whatever label you select, right? So inside that label will display like this. You see here. So this is like in a category. So Singapore is one country, India is one country, and then all these places come under this category. So this is like, opt group. We have used opt group here. Okay. And yeah, other thing is like, data list. So we learned about the data list here, you see. So data list is like, it is like, autocomplete feature. So you can search, you see here, we don't have anything. It's just like, when you mouse over, it becomes like a drop down. So here there are list of items already available. So suppose there are 1,000 elements like this, you won't be able to identify, right? So you can type in actually SIN. So when you keep on typing, so the drop down will find it actually. The data list will try to find the related value, and it will display it accordingly.
Wait, try typing Singapore in lowercase. Okay, it still works.
Okay, SINGAPORE. So it's like any case you can type it here. Yeah. So good try, Shivrisi. Yeah, I haven't tried that, so it gave me good info also. So we can try in case insensitive way. Okay, fine. So this is about the data list. So this list we are tagging it to the text box, input text box, and this input text box will be displayed with list of these items. So we have specified list attribute for the text box. So when do we tag this list attribute? So when we want autocomplete feature, right? Then we'll be having this list attribute, and we'll specify it in the text box. So this is the list that is going to be displayed in place of this list. Okay, you understood that way? So this is what we learned, and then multi-select. This is like multi-select. Fine. I think we have done all these things in the 4th week, and let's jump into some CSS properties. Okay, we'll learn about these 3 only today. So I'm going to give you some good info here. So try to understand, like learn as many style properties as possible. Okay, try for yourself. Try to find the related CSS styles and then add it to the elements. Then you can find it. Okay, 1 second. Give me a second. Okay, so let me add this code. Okay, I'm going to show you how this works. So let me open this, and then yeah, class 18, right? So I'm going to create a new file. Instead of creating a new file, what I do, yeah, I'm going to copy class 17 to I'm going to rename this one 19. Okay, class 19.html, and inside, okay, class 18 is what we learned about the div tags and all, right? Yes. Okay, let me take about class 19. Okay, good. So class
In
19.
the page layout, how do we put so much content in the page layout?
No,
Means all together at once, everything comes in the page layout. So, but we need to type all of content, right? But it would take so much time. So, do we need to type it or this? And there's some shortcut for it.
for what? The whole content?
Means if the page layout is very big, and then we need to type all the content in there, then it would take a lot of time. So there is no shortcut for that?
No, it's a simple way. Okay, you already have a file, right? So what you do is you just create a body. See, you have to follow some basic template like this. You see, now you have the basic template structure ready, right? Now you want to add the content, right? This is what your question, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
here is
but
go
it would
back to
take a lot of time.
no, go back to your previous class work and then copy the content from there. So what I do, I'm going to see here. I want to copy this section, this section, this section, and this section. I want to add this whole content. So I'll just select all like this. Control C, go back to class 19, and then Control V. So you have all the content here. Got it?
Yes.
The simpler way. You just have to, start thinking. Okay. Yeah. Now, but in fact, I can understand actually, like this is the first time you're all typing on the computer, right? So sometimes it sucks, like the content is more, you want to get the content, you just have to use Control C and Control V. Okay. Okay, yeah, and fine. So we added the content. So let me, okay, here I'm going to add a new section. So let me add a new section to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to add the new section in the bottom. So why do we need? We don't need actually. When I teach the CSS styles, I
So
don't
for
need
the
it anymore.
canvas element, the get context doesn't work on mine.
Okay, so fine. Let me explain that part again. Then it'll be. Yeah, I'm going to take out. So this is a basic
Yeah, the
layout, right?
debugger says
Okay, this is a basic
it doesn't know
layout. Okay, let me show you actually. Let me show you the whole part again. So you see where you have done some slight mistakes. Okay, I'm going to add only that part. Okay, so let me add here, and then you need. Okay, fine. I'm going to close this. So I just have a section element here. Okay, and this section has got a heading as canvas element, and you see the canvas tag starts here. The canvas tag starts here, and then I'm giving an identity called rectangle for this canvas. So I want this canvas to be of 300 pixel width and 300 pixel height. So I'll remove it. Okay, I'll remove the script first. Now let's see, something has to be displayed. Okay, this is an empty file. Yeah, class 19 is not there. So in the dashboard page, right? So I'm going to create in the dashboard page first. So where is our dashboard? Yeah, here, landing page. So here we have up to 18 only. So I'm going to make it as 19 here, 19, and then 19 here.
So can I go to the toilet?
Okay, fine. So fine. So class 19, I added class 19 also here. So in the dashboard, you can see I'm closing this. So we have class 18 only, right? I'm going to refresh this. So we have class 19. I'm going to click on this. You see here. So there is already present. So I'm going to class 19. I'm taking out the script part. So what I do is I just added the canvas element. Okay, with width as 300 and height as 200 pixel. And there is no background or any styles applied here. So let me save it. Refresh this. There is a box here. So means you can remember, like we added a style also for that. So this is a rectangle and canvas, right? So the style can be applied using the element name or ID or class name. If there is a class here, right? Class is equal to canvas style. If you have something like this, so you can make use of either class or ID or this element name. So let me just give you, show you like what we have used. We have used rectangle. You see here, rectangle is the ID, right? So this is an ID. So we will make use of hash, and then the border is 2 pixels. So I want a border of this canvas. So the canvas is of width 200, 300 and 200, right? So 300 width and height is 200. So it will draw a line with 2 pixels. It is a solid line of this color. So that's why you can see it here in the blue color. Okay, this is 300 by 200. Now, okay, I'm going to take out this part also. Okay, now you see here, I'm going to refresh. Then you can see like it is not printed. Okay, you try this, Shivresi. Okay, you might have done something like this. Your page is there. So I'm going to add the code back, CSS part back, save it. So I'm typing, I'm pressing the key F5. Is it working? Now it works. Because when you reload, so you have to reload the whole CSS part. How you have to reload? Press, okay, here I'll show you. Press CTRL plus F5 key, function key, okay? Use this combination whenever you want to reload a page or refresh a page, right? You try to do this because this will actually reload the whole set of files again, okay? Otherwise it will load it from the cache. I don't know whether I have explained it to you or not. I'll give an example again. So
You already explained this to us.
yeah, our loading from cache, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I think I'll not get into that. So just to show you. So you see some of the files are loaded from the disk cache. Means the file, this website we have already accessed it. So that's why some of the content is already there in our system. So it's loading it from the cache. So if you see the space here, some KB downloaded from the server, right? So it's all like freshly loaded. All these are freshly loaded. Okay, like this. Fine. I don't want to get into this because you already know this. Close this. Yeah. So now we got the canvas and write the code here. Okay, this rectangle should be proper. Okay, how to draw? Only border line I gave here, and then in the code we have the plain canvas element. Now let's start with script tag. Okay, so when you add the script here, you just take a canvas element. So you got this canvas element here. Once you get the canvas element, you try to get the context of what kind of image you want to draw. So you want to draw a 2D image, so get a context using get context function. Okay,
Is
and
3D possible?
3D I haven't tried, so maybe you can we will explore it. Okay, we'll explore this part. Okay, yeah. So now it is like using the context, you can draw the lines actually. So you are going to the position from 0 to 0. As I told you, this is 0 to 0 and 0. This is like 200 0 because no height here, and this is where you got the height and width up to here when looking from top left to
Oh, I
bottom
don't
right.
get what is the line to and stroke.
Yeah. Okay. Line 2. Okay. I'll remove this part. I'll remove this part. So here what happens is, so it will take the position from 0 to 0. The cursor is here, top left corner here, 0 to 0. Okay. This is a pixel. 0th pixel is the width and 0 pixels is the height. So where it comes 0 pixel width and 0 pixel height, top left corner, right? So that's where you see no height and no width there, right? So what you want to do is you are actually moving to line 2. So you want a line up to what? 200 width and 100 height. So where will it come 200 width? So let's see here. We have 300 here, right? So let's make 300. I want to make it 300 and see. So now you see the rectangle is there, right? So here, this is 0, 0. Okay. So where will be 300, 200? Can anybody say where will be the 300, 200? 300 in width, 200 in height.
It's 300, 100.
Here, right? It would come here, right?
This.
Right. So I want to move from 0 to 0 to line to 300, 200. So it comes here. So I want a line like this. So we are just moving actually. So after moving, it doesn't do anything. Just refresh it. See, it will not do anything. So what we need to do, we need a line here, right? So if you want a line, you just have to stroke it.
It is not 300, 200. It's 300, 100.
300, 100, right? So I'll make 300, 200, okay? Then it gives like a diagonal, okay? So I gave 300, 200. So now let's see, I gave a strike. When I give a strike, so stroke, right? So what happens is the line is drawn. refresh it, you'd get a line. So I'll give one more example to this. If you want to see it, right? So you can see it here. Okay. I'll go to the sources, try to debug the code. I'll give you the debugging here. So how do you debug? So this is session 1, right? Session 1. I'll go to HTML, and then which HTML you want? You want 17, right? So go to 17, go down. So where is your code? Your code is here. Put a debugger point, just click here. Okay, click here. Now you refresh.
It is showing for the class
Oh yeah,
19.
so class 19, right? So correct, we are wrong. So we need to go to class 19. Class 19, go and then find the place where you have this JavaScript code. Put a debug point by clicking there. You can see all the breakpoints here where you have added the breakpoint and all. Now just refresh this, the control will come there. Okay, up to here, up to this line. So only the box is displayed, and use this one, the curved arrow, right? Click on this, it will execute line by line. Click on this, this line is executed now. Okay, now at this point, you see here, I shown this part already. So let me show it again. So the canvas element at this point, you can go back to console and see canvas element is undefined here. Okay, I typed it and it is undefined. So now I'm going to execute this line. So once we execute this code, the selected code will be processed and the value is assigned to canvas context, right? So I'll just run this line of code. So now this line of code has been executed. So after that, the value you can see earlier it was undefined. Now I'm going to give canvas context, the same element, it has got a value. You find the difference, right? See, earlier undefined, now you got the value because this line has been executed. Okay, now this, if you want to execute this line, you just click on this again. So now this position has been occupied. Now you want to draw a line here. So just click on this line, click on this rounded arrow. So this line is also executed. Till now, you are not seeing any line here, right? So you can see only when the stroke has been executed. So when you just go to the next line, then the stroke will actually print the line, display the line here. Okay. Yeah.
Why did you type Arial over there?
Where is that? This one, right?
Arial. Yeah.
So this is like what kind of rectangle you want to print. If you want to change the rectangle, right, the font to be displayed for the rectangle, you can change this one. Okay, I'll show you that part. See, I'm going to print this, then it prints rectangle when this line of code gets executed. Okay, this 10 and 50 is like 10 pixels width and 50 pixels height. To start printing this rectangle, it's like from here to here it is 10 pixel, from top to bottom it is 15 pixels. So from here it started R, printing R. You understood it from here? Exactly. So that's why you give parameters here. So these are all like passing the parameters to this function. Fill text is a function, and that function accepts 3 inputs. The first one is a string, the second 2 parameters are the integer. So it's like that. So you can try this option. That's what I told, like you can, I think I have explained this one, right? Debugging, how to debug the code. Did I, or did I not explain this?
You did.
Okay, yeah, I remember actually, I remembered I explained this part. Okay, try this, okay, when you have a big JavaScript function, right? So
You have
yeah,
explained this one day.
yeah, the debug point will actually help, for JavaScript functions, if the file content gets more, right? So you can exactly see where is the problem in the JavaScript code. This helps, okay? Try to start using debugging. So debugging is very important. Yeah, I missed out that point also here. Okay, one second, where is that? Yeah, here we learned about, okay, here I missed out adding that part. learned debugging. Okay, debugging the JavaScript code. Okay, fine. So let's get into the events now. Sorry, the style properties. So after this, I'll explain two items in keyboard events and two in mouse events. Then the rest are all same only. Okay, I'll just give you some idea of that also. So now let's see this CSS properties first. Okay, yeah, we jumped into different sections. Okay, now let's go back here. I'm going to take out this part. Okay, class 19. I don't want to add this because I already explained this one in the last class. So just to give you an idea, I just explained it again. So here I'm going to add animation to div. Okay, so I'm going to give an animation to div element using these three properties. Okay, transition property, transition duration, and hover selector. Okay, so hover selector is a new concept, so which you may need to understand. Now here I'll change this. Okay, I'll change this div animation div animation element. Okay, just keep it like this. Yeah, I want to add a div tag here. So I'm just adding a div tag here. So this div tag, I'm going to give a class for this div. Okay, so class is what we want to add a style class. So we say it as class name. So div.
But you told that under ID we should only add ID.
No, you can add anything. That's what I told. Like, ID, class, or you can use element name for applying styles. Okay, I'm using class here. So because we already learned many times ID, right? So we haven't used many times this class attribute. So we'll try to use class here. Okay. So this is div style. Okay, I'll just give div style. Copy paste. Okay, I just add. What is this about? Okay, I'm just going to copy this one. So where I should add, go back to this style and you have to add it here. So what I should use it now?
Dot.
Exactly, very good. So is that Aditya you?
No, Adve.
Advay, very good. So I'm giving a dot. If you are using a style, class name, right, you have to make use of dot. Now for this, I'm just going to give some background color. Okay, so what background color shall we use? Shall we use red? Yeah, let's use crimson, some crimson background color. Now I'm going to give a default style property of width to how much? 100 is okay. I think, yeah, let's try 100 or 100. I'm going to give, okay, let's take it as 150. I'm going to give a width of 100 and then height of 100. Okay.
Why are you keep on adding everything below each other?
Yeah, this is how you add multiple styles. So in the style attribute, what we did, suppose if you don't want the style class, right? So what you do, okay, so Control Z, Control Home, yeah, Control X. Suppose this is not there, okay, this is not there, this is not there, okay. Then what will you do? You'll write all the styles here, right, in the style attribute like this, right? So if you want to apply different styles for this, so you'll use make use of style attribute like this, right? If you want to add multiple properties. So it gives you the same way. So you see here, I'm going to refresh this. So you have a div like this. Okay, this div I have given a crimson color with 150 and 150 height like this, 150 and 100. Okay, I'm going to give 150 and then you see So you can give, yeah, margin is one more attribute. So the style property. So you can give 10px. So means margin means it gives some space to left bottom. So margin it is taking from inside. So what I do is I'll give padding and see. So padding, I think it takes, yeah, padding should be inside here. Or okay, spacing, stop, opacity. Yeah, these are all some animation tags. So I just give some. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to add. Okay, this part, right? So let's not get into this. I'm adding margin left. I just want to add margin left. I'll give 10px. Okay, save it. See it on the page how it looks. So I want some space in the bottom. So what I can do is add a BR tag. Okay, just refresh this. Yeah, now you got this, right? So now I don't want 150px. I'll give it as 100 only. So the style looks good, right? The style is okay for me. So what I do is I don't want to mix the styles and then HTML code as I told you earlier. So that's why we actually segregated all the styles to CSS files, all the JavaScript to JS files, and all the HTML to HTML file, right? So what I do is I don't want to add it here to confuse. So I'm going to take out this style. So now I don't want to give any style. So what I do is I'll give a class name so that if you want any style, go and refer to this class. Okay. So now here I'm going to give a name, class name. So that is DAV style. So go back here and then just, yeah, I added a class name here. Add all the styles here, whatever style you want. And in this file, you can just make it, give some space so that you will easily understand what styles have been applied, what are the styles applied for the class name. So it's like collection of all the styles is called a style class. So you can just make it as a class name. So I am adding a 4 style properties here. So let's add all those 4 properties here and then save it. It doesn't make any change, so it will look as is only. See, I'm pressing Ctrl F5 also, still no change. So everything looks same. Now the selector comes into picture. So there is no animation here, right? So if you want an animation and learn some new concept called selector. So what I do is I'm going to add the same class name here. Okay, there's nothing here, just a DAV style. And for this, I'm going to add a selector. A selector is nothing but operations performed during the page load. So I'm just hovering on this DAV. Whenever you mouse hover on this DAV style, you want to apply certain styles. So this is called selector, hover selector. You see, hover selector. So what you do is whenever your mouse is on the DAV, it is like your mouse is on this, right? Then we say it as hover on this DAV element. So at that point of time, I want to apply some animation effect. So what I do is I'll go here, I give colon and then hover. Now I apply the property, transition property. So what's the transition property? So transition property, I want to apply it for width. Okay, I'm applying the transition property
What
on the
is
width.
transition property?
Okay, you see the feel of it, then you'll understand. Okay, so what it does is I'm just giving a new style property, making you understand what is transition property, how you can easily implement the animations in CSS using CSS. So for this transition, I'm just giving you just see, okay, transition duration, how many seconds I want. So what I do is 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds. What I want, what kind of animation I want to increase the width. So you have mentioned width here, right? So the same thing you increase. Okay, width. So what's the original width? Original width is 100. So here I want to make it as 300 pixels. When you mouse over on the div element, you want to increase the width to 300 pixels in a slow, within 2 seconds. So it takes 2 seconds to apply, to increase it to 300 pixels. So let's save it. Okay, let's save it. Go here, refresh, just mouse over on it. Just if you take out the mouse, it will go back to its previous position. Mouse over on it, you can see, like, the slightly, the animation effect will be, you can easily
It's
apply
like
it.
the unfoldable phone.
What is that? What's the Shurisi?
Nothing. I thought it looks like the unfoldable phone.
Oh, okay. So fine. So this is one. If you want to apply the same thing to your height also, so let's apply height here. So now I'm changing the height only, not width. Refresh this page, just mouse over on it. So it will increase the height like this. So what if you want to increase both height and width? So then you can make use of all here, and then just copy paste the same property again, style property, add width also 300 px. Okay, now save it, refresh this, just mouse over on it. So both the directions it will get increased, 300 pixels width and 300 pixels height. Okay, so the look and feel looks, pretty impressive, right? So now you want to reduce this one, so make default as 300 for width, and then you want to change it to 100. Means you're reducing the width and increasing the height when you mouse over on it. So it is the default one. When you click on, when you mouse over.
So is it possible to put circle or any other shape?
Yeah, circle is also possible. You see here, this is DAV, right? So I think there is a property called border radius. I think border radius only. So border radius 50%, maybe 50%. Let's see, how it looks. Yeah, it comes like this. You see. You understood, right? So what is happening here is, so you make it 300 and 300, it looks exactly same like circle. Okay, refresh. So now it's a circle, right? So this circle, what
Yeah.
I'm doing, I'm reducing both height and width to 100. Okay. I'm going to refresh this. You understood, right?
Yes,
See
sir.
here. Yeah, you can do it in multiple ways. Just, you just have to know the style properties. So you just have to explore, find, what is the right style property. So what I'm doing it here is, like, the border. So if you don't give it, what will happen? Let's see. I'm going to explain this one also. I save it. So it becomes a square, right? So what I'm trying to do is 50% is like, the corners is all sharp edges, right? So you are trying to make the borders like, have a curved. So how your curve want, so it is like 90 degrees, right? So you want to reduce it to 50% so that it looks like a curve. So you give the border radius. So border radius, you are reducing it to 50%. So 50% means it's like, curve. So 4 sides, it will apply the curve, border radius. So when it applies 4 sides, it becomes a circle. Okay, save it. Now you can see it becomes a circle. Just, put your mouse on it. It will become reduce or increase. So it's up to you actually how you want it. So I just give some style so that these kind of animations also you can give in your websites. So just to give a feel of how best you want to display your website. Okay, so fine. Now let's jump into the you have to remember this hover selector. Okay, hover selector. Suppose if you can make use of this also. I'll give you an example. Okay.
Sir, we couldn't finish anything today.
No, this is very important. No, see, at least if you learn this is very important. All these tags, right? It's just like you already learnt about on input, on blur, right? So the rest are also same. There is no difference actually. There is no difference. The only thing is
Are there JavaScript statements for each event?
yes, you have to write each statement. I'm going to show you two. Okay, I'll take
Sir,
another
but I
5.
remember we did keyboard events, form events, and we were halfway through mouse events.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm going to explain only two. Then you'll get some idea, and then you can follow the rest also in a similar way. Okay, there is
Most
nothing much.
the
I'll take another 5 to
events
10
also,
minutes.
I think we have covered most of them already.
Yeah. Events
In
is all like
previous talk.
yeah, events are all same actually. This is important. That's why I'm focusing actually. So the styles are very important because
Yeah, this one.
it
Okay,
gives you
understood.
some feel of some level of your creativity comes out here actually. This is part of your creativity. So this is part of your logic actually. The JavaScript is all part of your logic. So but let me show you. Let me show you some other styles that you can make use of. So input, and I just give it as text box. Okay, I want to give a text box, a plain text box, and for this text box I'm going to give an ID as f name. Just take an exam or login name. So I'm just giving a login name. Okay, and then give a style here. So what style you want? As I said, okay, before giving this, let's save it and then see how it looks. Okay, so the text box looks like this. So give some space to the top and then left. So what I do, I just copy this part and then
Or you can make in sections.
it's okay. I'll just explain it in the same part so that it both looks same. Okay, so left side also you want to give some label, right? So no need of label, but for this style you want to give some space. Margin left, I'm going to give 30 px. Okay, just 30 px. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it comes to the right. Now I want to apply one more style. What is that? Border radius. Okay, border radius. What I want to give, border radius is equal to 25%. Let's see how it looks. So the text box looks like this. You see, you can change the text box style also. Oh yeah, we closed it. Yeah, text box, I gave it, yeah, for 10% is
So
also
what if
more.
border radius is 100%?
You try that, Advay. I want you all to try, okay? So I'll give you idea, okay? I give you ideas here. Yeah, so 10% looks like this. Let's make it 50%. I'm going to see how it looks. The text box becomes like this, you see? You can still type it. So yeah, let's make it like this, and then on hover. Yeah, I'm going to copy these styles. Copy this style, Control X, and then remove this part here and login name, right? So login name, what I do is I'll give a style here, right? So this is login name, right? So login name.
Hashtag.
Yeah, hash, right? Okay, hash. Now after this, so what I do, you see, and I'll use another selector. I'm going to copy paste the same, and then I'm going to give focus. Okay, on focus. Focus is one more selector. So what I do is here,
Is focus like hover?
yeah, same. So when we add this, I want to make it as, I want to give a different color for it. So I'll just make it gold and then refresh. So whenever I mouse over on it, the color looks different. Whenever I click out, it doesn't, it will change back. Whenever I click on it only, the color will come back. So here you can actually, apply some styles. On focus, you can try to apply the same. So apply the same styles. So just give a transparent property to only width, okay? So, and then width, you change it or increase it, okay? So give a default width, okay? Default width would be, where is that? Yeah, default width, you can give it as 100 pixels. So 100 is too small, right? So give 200 pixels width, and then you give 300 pixels during the on focus. So refresh this. So it will increase automatically. The text box also, you can just increase dynamically. So like that, you can create. So if you want to make it fast, you just reduce it to 1 second. Refresh this. Where is that? Here, refresh. So very fast. So here also, if you want to make it slow, right? So you can just make it increase the seconds. Then what happens is it will be too slow. So very slowly, it will take 12 seconds to come back to its original position. So like that, you can give, different styles for the text boxes also. And when you mouse out, it will come back to its original position, so that it gives a feel for the user. Okay, instead of width, you can just have this one alone. And then mouse out, it comes back to its original position. So this is one kind of, styles also you can, animation styles also you can apply to all the input fields. Okay, all the input fields. Now let me show you, some of the, not some, I'll explain two: on mouse out and on mouse over. So I'll give only these two. Okay. Then
What is on DBL click?
double click, on double click. Okay, I'll explain these two. It's quite fast only, so I want you all to try that part also. Yeah, for this JavaScript, okay, event, right? So what is this? This is a text box, right? So I'm going to give on mouse over. So on mouse over, what I want to do, I want to call a my on mouse event. This is any name you can give, okay? And I want to give this keyword, okay? I want to pass this so that this input element is passed to it. Okay, I'm going to pass it to mouse over. So mouse over event, right? So I'm going to copy this one, on mouse over event. So I'm going to JS file.
Should there be any double quotes in the brackets of this?
No, it's plain here. You can use single quotes if you want, but for this keyword, you should not use it, because you're passing this element only, right? So that's why you should not. If you pass it as a single quote, right, it becomes a string again. String of this, that's not valid. So it should be like this only. Okay. So let's go back to this. add a function, and then you have a parameter there, right? This keyword. So you want to handle it. So input element. So that's an input element. So the value will come here, and this is not a function. So you have to make it a function. Now, so what I want to do on mouse over. Okay, on mouse over, let's read out this statement. Triggered when the mouse pointer moves over an element. Mouse pointer moves over an element, right? So what I do is, instead of applying it to this, I will do a separate. Okay, I will just copy paste this part, Control X, element. I'll take an element. This one is also okay, but I want to show it in a different different section. Okay, different div. So this is a division tag and will be displayed in uppercase when mouse is over on this text, and we display in lower case when mouse is out. Fine. So here I'm going to add on mouse over.
Is div same as the paragraph tag? So do we need to add any break tags in between?
No, it's up to you actually how you want it to display. Okay, no need. I just want to display any simple text only. Okay, any text. So I just took some default text. Yeah. Now on mouse over, I'm just changing this text is there, right? This text should convert it to uppercase. And when I remove the mouse from that div, so it should just apply a small case. So now let me show you only mouse over function. So on mouse over of this div, I'm going to call this function, JavaScript function, and this is the JavaScript function, and let's see. So input element dot inner HTML, you want to convert it to
what is input element?
Okay, and this is what we passed it in the JavaScript function, right? Using this. So this actually you need to handle it. So what I'm passing in this, when you represent it this, right, what is going to happen is you are passing the whole element as a parameter, so to this function. Okay, so in this function the whole content will be available using the variable that you are specifying here.
So
Must we write this?
What is that?
Must we write this in the JavaScript function?
No, we should not use this in the JavaScript
so
function. Any
whatever.
parameter. Wait. Any parameter name, okay? Any parameter name. You can use any parameter. Suppose if you don't want to pass, right? I'll give one more way. Sorry. If you don't want to pass, okay, I want to remove. So earlier you learnt about this. I don't want to pass anything here. So the other way, work around for that. What you have to do? Document dot get element by ID, and then you have to pass an ID for that. So there is no ID, right? Or tag name. Suppose you okay, I'll give a new learning here. So this is on mouse over div. Okay. So I'm using name here, right? So copy this. So last time we learned about document dot get element by ID, right? So here it provides there is one more function by tag name. So what tag name?
By name or by tag name?
Div, by tag name. So here it will retrieve all the, sorry, not this one. Not this one. So now what happens is when you use tag name, right? So it will try to get all the div tags available in this document as a list of array. So here you'll get many div elements. by, sorry, this one should be tag name. So this will bring many elements. Suppose if you want only with the name, last time we learned about ID, right? If you want to bring with only name, then you can make use of just name here, like this. See this part. So by name also you can give, but this one should be the name value. So whatever name is there, right? So you can give this. So variable div element. So you see, you have to add one more line here. Okay, and this ID should also be defined here. This ID or name attribute should also be defined here. So to reduce the code, what I do is I'll just remove this part, just pass this keyword here, and then go to here, and then just give div element to get the value and remove this part. So now it looks pretty simple, right? The code looks very minimum code we have written to achieve the same task. So it's up to you how you want it to, when you want to use document.get element by ID, or you want to pass this keyword. So this keyword means I want this element only, right? Suppose if you want this element in this function, right, then you have to use, suppose if you want to bring the value of this, right, just login name, copy it, go to the script, and then you have to add document dot get element by ID, and then here you have to give login name. In this case you have to use login name. Okay, now this is div element, right? So inside div element you are trying to get an element by ID of login name. So this is how you get it. Okay, now you understood the difference between the when you have to use get element by ID and when you have to pass this keyword, right? You understood, right? Or you still have a confusion?
Somewhat got it, but yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll explain it again. So on mouse over, you are going
No,
to call a function.
I don't understand why here you have written this and then in the JavaScript function you have written something else.
Okay, so this refers to, I want this content here, whatever text inside I have written it here, right? I want the whole content to be accessed in JavaScript. Okay, so how I will pass the whole element, and using that element I'll just have a function got dot inner HTML. So what I do is div element dot inner HTML is the content that I would be getting. So I'll use the same thing, div element dot inner HTML dot upper case. So inner HTML will give me the content, whatever you have mentioned in the div tag, right? So you are going to get the content using inner HTML. Okay, now after this you are assigning by changing it to uppercase. So this statement changes to uppercase. After changing to uppercase, again you are assigning it back to the div element. So this is a simple logic. You can try to understand. Getting the content is this one, and changing the text to uppercase is this function, and you have to assign it. After changing it, you have to assign it back. So you are changing it back, the content, to the div element. So that's why I want div element here. So I don't want to get specify ID here for this div. So did I specify ID here? No, I did not specify. If I have specified ID for this element, right? If I have specified ID for this element, in that case I don't need to pass this keyword. So I can get it using div ID. Okay, I copy it, I go to my script. I don't need a parameter here. and I need.
So ID will make it more code. Have a lot
ID.
of code.
Yeah, correct. So now you see here I have two lines of statements here in the JavaScript function, and in HTML I have added an extra attribute of ID. Correct?
Yeah.
So that's the extra thing. So if I don't want to use this thing, what I do is I'll remove this. I'll just pass this here so that the whole content is passed as an element as a parameter. And then here I'll go and then I'll just remove this line. Okay, I'll just remove this line and then I'll just, this should be accepted, right? So I'll accept this keyword with this div element. Now the div element will be available here in this function. Now let's see, save it, refresh. Okay, I'm just mouse over on this. The text will be converted to caps. You see all the text I written in small only, right? But everything converted to uppercase. Now let's learn about the other part, the other way. So I'm just going back to DAV. Here I'm going to add one more function, one more event on mouse out. Okay, on mouse out, I'm changing it back to lowercase. So this is my on mouse out event. Okay, so here also I will pass this keyword here. Okay, so on mouse out also I'm going to pass this keyword. So I want to have an implementation for this. I'll go back to this script, copy paste the same.
Then
See,
just change it to lower.
exactly. See, it's pretty simple now. So here upper is there, right? So I'll change upper to
You must also change the function name.
yes. Out on mouse out. That's it. So the function is all done. Go to here, refresh it. So I'm going to mouse over on this div. It changes to caps. Remove it, small case. So you can have like this. On mouse over, you want to show something, you can do some styles. Remove, you have to, you
But
can apply some styles.
what if we only want some particular text only to do uppercase and lowercase? Then
Yeah,
what should we do?
you can use the span tag there. Only for that you apply the, see, only for this content is there, right? So suppose you want a example, I'm telling.
Then
So
how do you mouse over if the person is
yeah.
using a phone to access the website?
Okay, you see here. What is the should you see?
What if a person is using a phone to access the website? How are they supposed to mouse over?
Mouse over is like your pointer. You see here. Mouse over also. Okay, I'll show you.
I mean, there's no cursor on the
See.
phone.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Then we need to use on click.
So this is a phone, right? So you see here, mouse click is happening here. This is like a phone, you know. You see, this is a phone or iPad. Okay, you can make it as a phone, means you can use which phone you want. iPhone, yeah. So it's a bit small, but I'll make it 100%. Yeah. Now you see. Okay, you understood, right? Should I see? So this is like, you know, the Chrome debugging tool will provide you, the ways of testing. Like, you know, you want to test it on your browser, or, you know, it is like, you know, browser only, but it will allow you the same feel of like, you know, how you can, how your website will look in Pixel phone or iPhone X or iPad or Surface Duo laptop, like this. Okay, so you can choose your own custom settings here. Okay, if you want to test it on the laptop, right? So we can select the laptop. Where is the laptop? Okay, maybe we will find it. I know I cannot immediately look at it now. So you can change actually, what kind of device you want to test your website and how it looks on that website. You can just, iPad, it looks like this. And then Moto 4, it looks like this. So
What
Pixel,
if we want to make this landscape make this
this one you can change
content
actually. See
landscape?
here, responsive, and then you can change the text, how you want it to be. Like, bigger screens, right? So 1024 into 1090, something like this. Okay, 1080, something like that. If you have this, right, so it looks like this. So you can change it here and then see how it looks on that resolution of the screen. Okay, custom.
Sir,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is what I wanted to explain on the mouse events. So other things you can try actually, the on mouse up, you can try. If you can try the same thing, just click on this and then change it to on mouse up. So only when mouse click events is there, right? So press the mouse button left or right. So when you release it, at that point of time, this event is triggered. Okay.
We only have 3 more lessons, right?
Yeah, correct. Very few. So that's why, today I wanted to explain this part. Like, all the functions are all same. So
sir,
once,
when will we start the website?
yeah, we'll start it from tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Start it from tomorrow. And these are all same actually. I don't want to focus more on this part because these are important only. Form events, keyboard events, mouse events are important. And rest is not important, but you can try actually, you can just you can try to, if you want, I'll give you more information on this also, window
Why
event.
is it called HTML events if we need to put JavaScript functions in it?
Okay, events is like, they talk about event is a action. So if you want to capture any actions on the HTML page, right? So you can just, they named it as events only. So the events are divided into multiple sections, like, form events are there, keyboard events are there. So keyboard is a device. You can perform some actions using the keyboard. Mouse is one device which is connected to your computer, right? So they can perform some actions on the mouse. So window events is like, your browser is there. When you open the browser, so in this browser, you are closing it. So the close is one action. That's an event. And you see here, restore is there, right? So when you restore it, the change of size is also one action. So they call it as, event. And you see here, control P, press control P. You're trying to print it, right? So where is that? I'm going to close this. So I want to print it. So print is also one action. So print comes under window events. You see, in the window events, it will come. And you want to drag and drop some text. So that will come under, that's also one of the action actually. Clipboard is like, copy paste is also one action on the browser that you can perform. Media events are like, the volume increase, like, two tags are there, right? Audio tags and video tags. For those, if you want to, apply some functions, perform some actions when you increase the volume or decrease the volume, or, move forward or move backward. So then in those scenarios, if you want to apply some actions, perform some actions, you can make use of media events. So there are many possibilities. You have to see which one is best applies for you. Okay.
I only see until slides for class 13.
Yeah, correct. I'm going to upload it later after this class. Okay.
Okay.
So you can just
Can
check
we
after a few minutes.
Can we take a break before starting the exam?
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. So you can take a test whenever it is convenient for you, because it's already 9:30, right? So I don't want to take your lot of time. So we will stop the class now. I'm going to stop the class now. And then, you take up the test and then you just, post in the WhatsApp saying like, you have completed the test. Okay, I'll go and correct it. Fine.
Okay,
But
sir.
be genuine, okay? Be genuine, and then you don't try to copy paste or try to get the content which you have already practiced. Try to think on your own, do the best that you can give. Okay.
Sir, is it okay if I write the code first in Visual Studio, then I just
Yes, that's pretty much good. That's,
because like then
Because
I know
the
the
text editor on the
indentation, the in case.
When I one
that
in
is
the
okay.
in the previous test, my network went, so that's why it took a lot of time for me to finish the test.
Okay, fine. You take your time. I'm not putting any restriction on the time. You take your time, complete it. Just ping me. You have completed it. Then I'll go and correct it. Okay.
Okay, sure.
But try to be genuine. Try to use your own thinking. If you don't know, you go and read out the book and then try to find the answer and then make it correct. Okay. Fine.
Okay,
That's
sir.
it from my side. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Just ping me if anything is there. Thank you all.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Hi, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.